Okay, hi everybody. Today we're going to do a little bit of painting. I know we're Hot Chocolate Quilt Company, but I'm also a crafter and I have to do it all. So if you are a lover of quilting and crafting, this is the right channel for you. Okay, today we're going to paint just a couple little quick things. This should be a quick video. So I have this cute little stick of butter. We're going to paint that stick of butter and we're going to paint this ball jar. These were some bonuses. Oh boy. These were some bonuses that we had in our tier tray club. So if you're not, well, you'll see this better in a minute, but there's the ball jar. Okay, so we're going to paint those and I'm going to change cameras and give you the overhead. If you're not familiar with our clubs, there's a link in the comments. It'll give you our website. That's hotchocolatequiltcompany.com. And you can go to the subscriptions and clubs. We have a new one coming. This tier tray has been hidden and it will be opening up September 2nd. And it's the year 2025. I don't know how long this video will stay up. If it's way past then, just go to our website and see what clubs we have. But for now, that one opens September. So you can come over there and join us if you love a tier tray and home decor. This one, this tier tray is mostly painting things. It's mostly paint and I think we're going to have two levels. I haven't quite decided yet. One level will be just painting and a little bit of ribbon and glue gun. The other level will be a few sewing projects that go along with it, some pillows. And for the Easter, I think we had a little pillow and a carrot. So there will be things like that. If you don't have a sewing machine, then just pick the other option. So I'm going to switch cameras and we're just going to get going here, because you don't want to just hear me talk. Okay, here we go. Now you can see what we're doing. This little salted butter has a groove in the top, and it is for recipe cards. So when you're in your kitchen, your recipes have a place to sit. So it actually is useful. The little ball jar has this little plastic thing in it, and this you can put flowers in. So you can use it like a little flower vase. Okay. So first thing we're going to do, oh, I forgot to bring my butter down. I'm going to run and get some butter. And because we got to match the right color, so hang on. Okay, so we have butter and I love the color of butter. It's just, I don't know, I guess I'm addicted to butter. Since I was a baby, my mom used to sit me on the middle of the table, hand me a cube of butter, and do my hair. So I guess I've fallen in love with butter and the color. So I'm going to sit this here and we are going to mix that color. Now, I don't have butter yellow, so we're just going to make it. So let's see how close we can get. That's just a little too dark for me. Not quite close enough. So let's see what we can get here. Not sure. Let's mix it with this. See how close we can get. I might need more white. Plenty of white. We're going to waste a lot of paint here. Let's get us some true yellow, butter yellow. Are we getting there? This is a fun thing with paint. You can always just mix and you only need like the basics, and then you can mix black and white to get anything you want. Okay, I think we need just a little more white. It's just a little too buttery for me. Okay, there we go. I think that's about as close as we're gonna get. I mean, I could go more white, but we're just gonna go with that. And then I'm just gonna use a junk brush. I have a lot of junk brushes. Just gonna use this big. All right, I keep forgetting which camera you guys are on. So I'm showing you something and you can't see it. So we're just gonna base paint this. And if you're unfamiliar with painting, base painting is the foundation to everything you do. So you base paint mostly everything. Sometimes you can put some sealer on it. Back in the day when we were doing really decorative toll painting, we would seal it with and sand it and seal it and sand it. And then it would have this beautiful finish when we were done. But these little kinds of things, we don't really need all the costs, and we don't need all those steps. It's just not necessary when you can just do something this quick. This can be such a quick little project. It doesn't take a whole lot of skill, if you can see. Not a whole lot of skill to do this. You're going to get some paint on your hands. Actually, this is something kids could do. Maybe with a little supervision. Kids might enjoy decorating. Our tier trays have lots of different, like there's a kitchen one, and there's Halloween, there's all the holidays, but there's also just some fun things that you wouldn't expect in our tier tray club. So you can use them. You can buy a tier tray and use it like on your kitchen table or your counter. That's kind of fun, or in your entry. Or if you don't want to buy a tier tray, just put it like on an entry table or your mantle or a shelf. You can scatter it through your house, and kids would really enjoy it because they can decorate, they can help you decorate. All right, we're just going to do the ends. And this, because it's butter yellow, I really don't want a lot of coats. This one coat is going to be enough. So I'm going to let that dry and we'll come back to it, because right now it's just, I need it to dry before we paint that other end. So while we're waiting, we're going to do this one. We're just going to do this with a white, but again, I'm not sure I want to do just plain white, so we're going to mix this one as well. We're going to do a white with a touch. Oh, I haven't opened these yet. With a touch of this, it's Bahama Blue. I just want a little drop of it. Just want a tint. I don't know if you've seen mason jars that have blue in them, but those are beautiful jars. They're sure hard to come by. Anyway, okay, we're going to use that little bit of blue in there. Let me get a different paintbrush because all right. So that's not quite white. It's got just a touch of blue in it. Just what I wanted, just a tint of blue. Got a little yellow paint on there. It doesn't matter. You can see how quick this is. If you're a beginner and you've never painted this, these are the projects for you. All of our tier tray projects are this simple. I like to take my brush and go back and forth, and like, because you're going to have brush lines, and so I like to smooth out my brush lines. But anybody can figure that out. You can do one or two coats depending on what you like. Some things definitely need two coats if they're dark colors, but these today, the butter yellow and the white aren't really gonna, I don't think we're gonna need a second coat. I'm gonna take this little thing out. All right. So I was getting set up today to do this video, and I had a black backdrop and I thought it was going to be perfect. And I turned on the video and you could only see my head. It was a floating head and a little bit of my logo on my shirt. Because of what I had behind me was black. So I had to figure out, change my plan a little bit, give you a backdrop. And I'll go back to that in a minute and show you. It's a fun little quilt. It's the chicken coop or the chicken poop quilt. Anyway, this quilt has quite a story, and I'll talk about it while I paint, because what can I tell you? This is so easy. You're just gonna base paint. Anyway, the chicken coop story is when my grandmother passed away, my mom was going through all of her things, and in her backyard, she had this little tiny shed. Just little. You had to duck down to get in it. It was so little. So she was going through the shed and she found all these little quilt blocks and they were wadded up in a tin and they were covered in chicken poop. And my mom, she's like me, we save everything. So she takes these little blocks home and she washes them. And they're kind of still stained and they look pretty terrible. And she asked all my siblings, she asked everyone, my sister-in-laws and my siblings, if anyone would like one to have it framed in a picture frame, or would any of their kids like one, or everybody was just appalled and turned her down. So no one was interested. So after a few months of worrying about it, my mom just said, "Do you?" Because I told her I wanted one, and she says, "Well, what do you think? Do you still want one?" And here I'm gonna flip because I'm done painting. Oh, I've got one more little piece here. We're gonna paint this lid. And then we gotta wait for it to dry. And then I'll flip it over and you can see the quilt I'm talking about. But so I was the only one that was even remotely interested in a quilt block. So I'm like, sure, I would love to frame one, and maybe my daughter would like one too. So I had my name on two of them, and there were 24 blocks, and I claimed two. Anyway, I'm going to show you this quilt in a minute because I took those blocks and I washed them and I used some Synthropol and I don't know, I used everything. I used everything I could, some spray and wash. Every time I'd get it out of the wash, if there was a little stain, then I would wash it again and wash it again. Finally, I pressed them and pressed all the blocks, and they didn't look so bad. So here, I'll show you that quilt. Well, we're going to have to wait for this to dry. Let's switch cameras. Okay, we're going to wait for this to dry. So this quilt behind me is the chicken poop chicken coop quilt. And so all of the blocks, I got them. I pressed them all. They aren't all exactly square, but I just sashed them. Some of you can see this one right here. The sashings is just a little bit wider and it's a little bit crooked, but I just adjusted to make the row lengths the size. So this green one right here, this green one, you can see is shorter than this blue one. But I just trimmed them up, sashed them, put them in, and it is just a dang cute quilt top. And I need to get it quilted, but I have a empty block on the corner, a white block on the corner, and I'm going to write the story and have it printed and iron it on. So as soon as I do that, then I can quilt it. Anyway, this is a really cute quilt for being something no one wanted because it had chicken poop on it. So anyway, sometimes you can get great things. Okay, I've got these labels now, and these are just vinyl. So that's what I'm saying. You've got these, you're going to put these letters on these boxes or on these blocks, and you're going to do all this decorating, and it's so easy because you're just going to rub it on. So I'm going to switch cameras again, and then I will show you. So you just peel this apart. Oops, that letter's come off. So this is like your carrier. I don't know if you've ever used vinyl or not, but vinyl is printed on a piece of paper that's sticky. So we're going to take that sticky paper. I'll show you. Let me switch cameras again. Okay, so I've pulled off all of the little labels. I've pulled off all the papers. So we've got the three that we're going to do here. Let's start with the lid. So this is the lid to the mason jar. We're going to put the right side down and kind of adjust it. You can adjust it a little bit and then get it to stick. It might be a little crooked. No, I think that'll work. And then you're just going to take like an old credit card or a tongue depressor or something and rub that on there. You can rub it pretty hard. And then it will stick. You want all those little lines to stick. No problem if you don't do it enough because you can lay the paper back down. So we'll just lift this paper. see. Okay, so you can see how it's sticking. It's sticking down really nicely. Okay, there's the top of our ball jar. Let's do the whole bottle right now. Let's do that. Okay. You see how simple this is, how these are the type of projects that will be in the block of the month or the box of the month, the tier tray subscription club. Okay, yeah, that's gonna work beautifully. Okay. So everything that's in the tier tray will pretty much be this simple unless you get to the third level where there's a little bit of sewing, but it's not going to be hard sewing. It's going to be very simple things. Some of it might be things you can do by hand even. And I might do that, just put in an option for doing it by hand as well as with a machine. But so far, you shouldn't be very afraid of this kind of a project because these are easy and they wait till we're done here. They turn out so cute. Okay, let's see. That's on there. I love vinyl for this very reason. Looks like there's a little, there's a funny little line on the M, but that wasn't hand painted. That was done by the cutter that did the little machine that cut that out. Okay, let's see if my glue gun is hot. Oh, good. So we're just gonna take this and we're just gonna put a tiny bit of hot glue on the back of that. And then we're just gonna position it where we want it. And that is so simple. That's probably the only piece of equipment you would need at home is to have a glue gun. So here's that all done. Whoops, upside down. There, let's look at it that way. That one's all done. Look how cute that is. And added a little bit of blue looks really nice in my opinion. Maybe you don't like that. Maybe you just want bright white, but I love a little bit of blue in there. Okay, let's compare, see if you can see the difference. Yeah, you can kind of tell there's blue in it. Okay, I gotta get rid of that butter. Let's move this butter out of the way. I think we did a good enough job. It might be a little brighter, but it's still cute. Okay, let's do this butter. This one's going to be fun too. Okay, so position your label. This one's got a little extra, it looks like, on there. Let's see, we want to make sure. Oh, they've cut this perfectly to go right along the edge of your butter or your board. So let's make sure that's on there. See how easy it is to reposition to make sure you've got it where you want it? Okay, we want the words to show up. We want salted to show up. So, all right, this is so cute. I kind of need a thing to put I don't have anything for my recipe cards, and they're just getting gunky, and then you can't read them and you have to rewrite them. So this will save my recipes. All right, let's see if we did that. Oop, not quite. Wasn't as aggressive with this one. Let's push a little harder. See if we did it. No. Let's try a different thing. I don't have a credit card with me down here, but I do have this thing for sewing. Maybe the answer. Oh, you know what? I know what the problem is. Our paint is still wet. So my paint isn't dry enough, and so it's not going to stick. But as soon as that paint's dry, it'll stay. I think I did a last minute coat while I was switching cameras. Okay, let's see if it's going to work going this direction. Maybe it's just that one little spot, a couple little spots where it's not quite dry. Okay. All right, when you guys do this, just make sure your paint is all the way dry before you try to lift these. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. So there's our butter. Look how cute that is. It's perfect for putting a recipe card in. So these are some cute cards too that came in the box. So let me just pull one out. We'll put it in there and show you how it functions. Hope there's not any paint in that groove. Your recipe card just goes in the groove and then it'll sit. And that is that. There's your two finished things. Awesome. Okay, thanks for watching. If you have questions, go ahead and comment. You can find us on our website too. You can email us if you have questions, and hope to see you over there or joining our club. All right. All right. Okay. Hopefully you'll join our club. This is your one last look at the chicken coop quilt, and we'll see you next time. All right. Bye, everybody.